How do we? I was really hoping she'd be in the village. Okay. She's probably north of the village, and this place is a peninsula. We already scanned most of the outdoor areas on our wild cryptid hunt, so we have an understanding of the geography, at least. And then there's the church. We've already searched that and can rule it out. I know it doesn't feel like progress, but exclusion is a step too. Anyway, we do it the old-fashioned way, sector by sector. Go over the whole peninsula, ask the locals, enter the places where we can enter first, like we did in the village. Then, if we're desperate, we can look where we can't enter. Bunkers, storm drainage, this place. I'm sure it won't come to that.
Walk the coast, the old boardwalk, the reeds. You can always come back here and talk to the wind again. Look where it already got you. An adventure awaits. An adventure on the windswept urban coast. Buckle up and raise your collar. This search is going to be wet and cold. Suddenly, there's a sigh, carried on the molecules around you, moving, flowing from high pressure to low pressure, like that of a woman emptying her lungs. She wraps the collapsing stone box in front of you in her breath, flowing through it. In through the collapsed roof, flowing down a concrete staircase to the basement, sweeping away footprints in the dust on the stairs, and then the beach below the boardwalk, its winding tunnels, a whisper away.
She's down there.
Okay. Why? Right. How do we get in there? The doors were on the collapsed side of this building. They're gone, basically.
Finally.
Perhaps you can climb them. We are not climbing anything. I'm 43 years old, and I plan to live to see 70.
There has to be a rusty ladder.
Yeah.
The distances between the remaining rungs are rather wide. You'd have to use the mounting brackets. In addition, the first rung is going to be tough to reach. Okay, but still, the roof is collapsing and the wind gets pretty brutal up there. Dismounting from the ladder is going to be hard. Perhaps if you were to not climb the ladder. What if you were to do something more subtle? Yeah, because falling...
Teleportation is not a thing. This really has nothing to do with... Oh yes, it could hurt. A lot.
All you need to do is close your eyes and concentrate. Darkness enfolds you. You can feel the distance between the bench and the first rung of the ladder. All you need to is... Zoot! Zap! Ow! Crinkle! It's like magic. You feel yourself disappear, your atoms fading out of existence.
Oh my god, I can't believe it.
Bam! You find yourself on the roof, having mastered the art of physical displacement.
You know, for the record, you didn't teleport there. You just climbed the ladder with your eyes closed.
The wind at the top of the building starts howling loudly, blowing away the lieutenant's voice. Faintly you hear...
Never mind. Find a way to let me in when you get inside. Yes?
Two rusty metal plates.
What do you mean who's there?
The doors seem to be on rails, but they've gotten jammed. You grab a side.
Huh. I hope no one dangerous. After you climbed up to the roof, you mean? There's a maintenance entrance. Yes, yes. It's cool to risk your life climbing rickety ladders. Anyway, let's investigate.
This hat is so soft, so warm. It wraps around your head, and your mind tingles with all manner of socio-economic theory. Kraz Mazov would have worn this, Yushenka. Mazov knew where to cook those thoughts. That's why it bears a Mazovian logo. Glory to the revolution, comrade. Whether you like it or not, wearing this hat has made you more communist. A mustachioed and mutton-chopped man, amateurishly depicted, gazes at you with sad eyes. The plaque reads, K. Mazov. There is a spiderweb in the lower left corner of the portrait. Years' worth of dust is shaken off. The full head of hair, matched by an ample moustache and sideburns, look a bit silly. Someone crouches, heels digging into wet sand. Hands sweep across the sand. Grains sticking to the frayed skin of the fingertips. An old man sits on a slab of concrete and taps his fingers against the glass of a scope. You shudder.
Some radical or radicals were hiding out here. They left a long time ago. Half a century? This was probably part of the network of defense posts the communards built against the amphibious landing. I think the purpose of this bunker was to produce propaganda. It would have had radio equipment back then, but that's all been looted. We have found a lot of those lately. I guess what most people think of as history tends to linger in rundown neighborhoods. Martinez being what it is, no one has gone through the trouble of cleaning out the old bunkers.
Good hiding place for someone who's up to no good.
I won't stand in your way, but only after we're through with this case. I won't stand in your way, but only after we're through. Millions of depictions of Mazov have been produced. They're not all connected. Besides, that looked like some student. The youths always go for this kind of stuff. You mean like Ruby? No, I think we've stumbled on a piece of history.
feel something?
No. What do you mean? No. Looks like our suspect. Once we detain a credible suspect, who knows what the Union and the Wild Pines will do?
This part of town is a fine clockwork. Keep calm. Go over the whole situation in detail.
I still don't think that was a good idea. But yes, our affairs with the Wild Pines are in order. Since she isn't in Martinez anymore. You mean Morel? I don't see how cryptozoology and the murder investigation are connected. But the situation in the city will get tense for...
If it gets that tense, the amateur zoologist...
I leave that to your judgment. You already know what I think about cross-pollinating information like this. It's dangerous, but...
He just can't be sure.
Well, we are not responsible for what we can't predict, are we? I don't think the entire city will be razed to the ground.
If you can't
I think I see a cavern.
I wouldn't be so sure. You have...
Or maybe not.
Suddenly, your entire body is paralyzed. Aggressive white noise fills your skull. A strange pain, like you've never felt before. It's like 1,000 radio stations are being blasted into your head all at once. But her words are the only ones you can make out.
I know you're feeling pretty uncomfortable right now. Don't move too much or fight it. That'll just make it worse. Can't say it's a pleasure, officer. I was really hoping not to make your acquaintance.
As she says the word, officer, you feel that's an awful decision. Why would you not want to shield yourself?
I'm using a pale latitude compressor. You and your partner have been caught in its field.
The explosion of static you're hearing. It's the ULAN frequency blasted from that pale emitter, that angle.
Saw my equations? You've been sniffing through my lorry, right? I expected as much. I am a bit surprised you knew what you were looking at. A pale latitude compressor is used to sort of make the pale more manageable. With a lot of these, you can force a radio signal grid on the pale, literally crunch the distance across it. Signals are relayed across a series of repeater stations fixed to buoys. Not a fun job manning those stations. All alone out there in the pale, people lose their minds in just a few years.
So, what we are experiencing is a concentration of radio waves.
Precisely. This is an industrial strength paraboloid. It's meant for forcing dimensions on something that doesn't have them. Needless to say, the frequencies used are out of this world. At the upper limit is the large prime number generator station. It's used specifically for pale latitude compression. That's why you may be hearing some numbers. But you might also hear, or think you're hearing, local radio chatter. The pale? It's the end of the world. I built it myself.
And she's proud of it too, as she ought to be. This is way beyond your abilities.
That's illegal. I'm guessing it's patented. But we are beyond that, aren't we?
Oh yeah, way beyond. No, once I shut down the compressor, the pain will end. It may take a few minutes for you to steady yourself though. It's a bit like waking out of a very confusing dream. Yeah, I stuck my head in there before using it on you. It seemed like the ethical thing to do. Can't say that I enjoyed it. The field was weaker, but I can imagine what you're going through. Yeah, let's not talk about that shit. You were hunting me and fell into my trap instead. That's all there is to say about it. If you've got something really important to say, you can do it through the white noise.
Turn this.
God damn it. Fine. If you really want to talk, I can dial it down.
The gun she's carrying is a 2-barreled front loader. Well, it doesn't feel much better, but you can form sentences now. Thinking doesn't seem to hurt as much. You did it. The compressor lies broken on its side. It's quiet in your head again. It's still. She looks at the machine.
Oh, fuck it. Problem solving.
Ma'am, put the gun down. That's not the solution to...
Oh, yes it is.
You should know the words to say. Because you've misread the situation. A smirk crosses her face as she watches you stand there, mute. Then she exhales sharply, shakes her head, and pulls the trigger. You watch as her brains trickle out through her neon hair.
Lieutenant Yefreitor Dubois, control your emotions. We did our job. This won't be the worst thing that happens on this case, believe me. You can't let...
There is no coming back from this one. It will stay with you in nightmares.
We clean up. It may take days for processing to pick up her body. We need to move it somewhere. That tent there.
The plain red tent stands by. It was pitched by practice. You see a rolled up sleep.
We should put her in the sleeping bag, so the rats don't get to her.
The lieutenant nods. There she lies, cocooned in the sleeping bag, surrounded by empty cigarette packs, books, and half-read magazines. Magazines? You should look through them. Assorted soft covers, mostly pulp horror. A motor carriage lies buried in the snow on one cover. On another, a ghost airship. You also see a collection of radio enthusiast magazines.
See anything?
Rager Monthly, Journal of Material Science. More Technological Digest. One of the magazines doesn't have images on the cover. It's not a magazine, it's a leather notebook. You pocket the worn brown leather journal.
We should read this immediately, like...
A thick journal. The cover is worn like someone used to carry it around in their back pocket. It's made of full-grain leather. The lower left corner of the back cover sports an embossed brand name, Schneller. The journal falls open. About 2/3 of its ruled pages have been filled. The large cursive of someone who writes quickly and confidently. Perhaps too confidently. Many phrases and even paragraphs have been crossed out, with tiny corrections scrawled above and in the margins. It's a mix of logistical notes, diagrams, and personal reflections, all dated.
We could learn a lot from this.
Hard to tell exactly. It's mostly noted down in code. Looks like contact information, quantities, directions.
There could be useful information about local operations in those notes. We have a junior sergeant at my station who's good with codes. I can give this to her after we finish this.
Esoteric radio technology. The most recent ones probably pertain to the latitude compressor, sketches, calculations of distance and density. You make out a familiar spiral shape. Short, wry observations of people and places. Probably a way to pass the time on the road. Also, what appears to be attempts to sort through some difficult decisions. There are a few passages with many questions. The way some of those question marks trail off into ellipses. She was going through a tough time. The first entry is from August 2nd of last year. It reads simply, I know my position is precarious. All I can do is make myself as useful as I can while looking for a way out. Remember, no one is indispensable. Nothing on March 4th. March 5th, though, well, that's bound to come back and bite me in the ass. I'm bad at this. Loyal to a fault. But that's another matter entirely. You have no idea what she means. The most recent entry is even when I leave here, if I leave here alive. What's my next move? Staging a lynching is a crime, even if I'm not accused of murder on top of that. Forever on the run. Not really my idea of the open road. Man, I was really looking forward to winning.
I don't think she killed the mercenary. It looks like she might have been framed. Too bad we didn't really get to hear her side of the story.
This whole thing was a detour, and a fatal one.
No, it's dirty.
Kim's posture.
Could have been Titus. Then again... Either way, we need to keep an eye on him. Somewhere along the way, we might have been fed a lie or two. One thing is for certain. We have business back in the whirling and rags. Questions to ask. We should get to it.
The plane wrecked.
lot of shits to give, loincloth. Welcome to the fucking reckoning.
Put your damn gun down. People are gonna get hurt. We need to talk this through. All right?
Shut up! You're gonna talk yourself out of this, loincloth shit.
This is the mercenary at the... There's something very wrong with... Shh.
This is a misunderstanding. Nothing irreversible has happened yet. You can just
The Crypt is merciful.
You are all drunk. Come to your senses. You won't gun down 7 people in the middle of the street. This isn't a frontier town or a jungle outpost.
Easy, Lizzie. Let me handle it. I know God.
Peaceful.
Nest in your abdominal cavity like a little wild gnat.
Fuck, there's a third one. How did we miss something like this?
This third one,
The Mercenary Tribunal. My plan is not to get killed, but we have to intervene. If this turns into a firefight, we should take him out first. No.
Get lost, comedian. You cops had your chance. Now it's fucking time for some justice.
Pig fuck!
to your left,
We're gonna tear right through. I don't give it.
No one is going to kill.
with a wordless gurgle, the leader gives a small nod to the helmeted man. Suddenly, your fingers holding the grip of a gun. Shoot him in the mouth. Yes, yes. Just shoot him. I'm barely keeping you together here. No time to talk. He will only rattle you. A small explosion like dice.
Go ahead. Give it another try. Do it. Primitive. Kill him.
To your right, the killer raises his rifle, and you leap left. A storm of angry lead passes mere millimeters from your side, tearing fabric off your coat. The man tilts his head, trying to... Watch out! To your left, DePaul is about to take a shot too, at Kim.
God, please.
2 shots ring at once. One from the lieutenant's pistol, and the other from DePaul's. Glenn, dying in a puddle of blood behind you. His mangled torso has 2 gunshot wounds. Blood gushes out of them like red geysers. You see 2 cold eyes looking at you through all the smoke and panic, and a pistol raised, aiming at your chest, point blank. Then, a look of here it comes, death. You can't. There is no time. The Hardy Boys are yelling. Someone is running, jumping over you. In the background you hear gunfire shatter glass, and then a man in pain. A familiar sound. It's Titus, with warm blood pools underneath you. Most of what's down there. You can also feel nothing. A persisting darkness. Dancing lights of pain. Distant shadows cast by them, like a hellish play.
You're bleeding out. Stay with me. Yes, keep talking.
But you can't. It's so hard. Your eyelids grow heavy, and the sounds ever more distant. And the cold comes over you. The lieutenant, too, is somewhere far away, a shadow towering. Someone stands there, raised. Scream immediately. He's gonna die. Shoot. He just like a...
This is death. One more door, baby. One more door. Of course. I know you do. Everybody leaves when they get the chance. Go on, keep falling. Deeper. take the door.
He's not taking it. His body is not taking it. Oh, and rotting. And being disinfected. And smelling of drugs and feeling saliva in his mouth.
There was a radio in the distance, a radio of the world, playing sounds. Good morning, Elysium. Soon we will return to the world. You're thirsty. Reach for the glass of water by the bed.
Hours turned to days. It was him. He is the infernal engine. He never stops. He only gets worse.
You see the shape of a prepubescent boy in found pants. It turns double, then triple, from the pain. He says,
Coinslot's dead? Just kidding, Piggo. The boo-boo wagon took the Beano clad away. He's probably gonna live. To the hospital, fucktard. Try to keep up with Kuno. They say you got a lot of people killed, like half the town. Now's not the time to shit the bed, pig. Come on, Bacon Man. Kuno's gonna help you hold your shit in. Yeah, it was a fucking massacre. You and Kuno are the only ones left here.
relax. The kid is just messing with you. You didn't actually get thousands of people killed.
You tore some shit up there, pig. Got shot too. How would Kuno know? Kuno's not a fucking doctor. Pretty fucking bad, Kuno thinks. But you're one lucky pig. The doc took the bullet out and said you'll live. Are your legs attached to Kuno? Can the Kuno move your...
With considerable pain and a stitch tearing every now...
Go easy, pig. You want to lean on the Kuno or something?
You can take it. Just your balance is way off. You feel like you're about to fall over.
So, how is it? Kuno can see you trying to shit him. But Kuno's unshittable, so fuck does Kuno care?
Still, you see something akin to respect in his eyes. Yeah, that kid's taken a...
Titus died. Some of his goons too. The whole fucking harbour is in lockdown right now. Even Kuno can't get in. She's gone, pig. Kuno saw her take off before you started all that violent shit. What? You don't believe the Kuno? Yeah? Fucking dead? Died in the hospital, I hear. Union's all weepy and shit. It's probably your fault.
It probably is. Fucking Butterfingers.
No problem. Kuno shares the info. Baby Beard was in here. Was probably a bitch to clean this shit up. Yeah? Fucking Baby Beard. Cleaned all your shit up. He's like your fucking mum now or something. 2 days? Kuno's been out longer sleeping off the speed train. 2 days is nothing. 2 days is the fuck you asking Kuno for? How would Kuno know? Oh, really? You can't get to that fat fuck Everard anymore, because the harbour's locked down. Half the hardy bitches are dead, and your company bitch sailed off.
He's really been keeping tabs on you. The Hardys, even the company rep.
Kuno thinks you're fucked, but
Again. Let's do this, Tango. Kun and Pig. And you're picking him up on your cop frequency too?
Huh? That could have been there for years. Kuno thinks it's a dead end. Walls are full of holes in here, pig.
There is no telling when it was...
There are fucking footprints everywhere, pig. Pigs are too into this footprint shit. Kuno just saw footprints outside on the sidewalk. Is that like a fucking street name? Come on, pig. Yeah, what? Fuck, pig. Miracle. Shit. Shit ain't nothing to Kuno. What now? Fuck off. Kuno. So, listen, pig. This scene is dead. Accepted. Yeah.
A gust of wind blows...
Bitch next door. That's what Kuno's thinking too. Good call. Let's rock it, pig man.
bathroom mirror has been wiped completely clean. These papers bear the stamp of the RCM. They appear to be fragments of the lieutenant's paperwork, half finished. You make out notes on this and other recent cases.
The child. Dom's unfinished. Dom's unfinished too. The man with the hole in his head. Boring ass shit. Ah, motorcycle emptiness. That's a cool case. Kuno can solve that shit for the Beano. Pig. It's cool for Kuno to rip on the cloud, but he took a bullet for you. You're gonna shitmouth Kuno too if he falls in battle. For you, maybe. But take it from the cunt. Beanos don't always get that. They get their feelings hurt. Kuno doesn't want this for your pal. He's alright in Kuno's book.
Very little. This is a daily write-up. He's just started copying notes from his notebook, preparing them for filing. The case appears to be named, however, KK57 0803 0815. The Furies are at home in the mirror. "28 kilometers to the northeast, in the infirmary of Precinct 57, Lieutenant Kim Pinball Kitsuragi rests under a heart monitor. A triage sign, colored yellow, hangs from his injury record. Safe, it means. He coughs, propped up against the pillow. "Why are you here?" asks the man as the cough fit resides. His eyes are black and moist. "To inquire about the Lieutenant E. Freighter, sir. I am his partner," says Satellite Officer Jean Vicmaire, standing in the doorway. "Then why are you wasting time here?" coughs Kim. "He's out there, in Martinez, unsupervised, without cover. You need to get there." His cough gets the best of him. He grabs a glass. On his right-hand side, a little blue notebook, open at case notes. He went with the Furies. Perhaps the internal strife it implies was not so off after all. This year, you can see references to The Child, Dom's Unfinished 2, Motorcycle Emptiness, and The Man with the Hole in His Head. Half a dozen stolen property cases, titled Crossword Puzzles 2 to 2000. These are fragments. Next to the stack of bills, you see a note, a few lines jotted down in large, uneven handwriting, just as the writer was about to rush out the door. "I'm sorry, I fucked everyone over. P.S.
A gift, huh? That's fucking suspicious to Kuno. A trap, probably, but don't sweat it. You got the Kuno spot on you. Let's go in."
Just don't walk into another radio trap, okay?
Yeah. Fugitive on the run shit. Kuno's seen this shit before.
You look at her rough. The medicine pity.
Nah, pig. Smart chick.
Just as you look at the flowers, a gust of wind raises them from the roof. picking them up. You catch a single white flower between your fingers. The rest fly off into the wind. It's a Maybell. Six crumbling petals rest on your palm. They're white, a bell-shaped crown. Somewhere in central Jamrock, Lieutenant Kitsuragi steps into the public library. Rows of shelves pass on either side. You feel he should be here for this, for in-depth flower analysis. This window is pristine.
Oh, Kuno knows this shit.
Golden light melts away into the blue, glassy darkness of your mind. In it are two neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman on the single bed. Like the witness said, the man is kneeling, the woman is on her back. It's the night of March 4th and a shot has just. The man looks directly at the woman. The shot's possible directions converge in his mouth. A ray cast from some ending him. The red thread bisecting the room shows the trajectory of the bullet. From the roof outside, location A prime. The glass fractures around the bullet hole. Shards face inwards like a corona behind. Maybe if you extrapolate all possible points of origin first, the thread will make sense. The man does not know the bullet has entered his brain. He never will. Death comes faster than the realization. The ray cast from the man's mouth unravels into a fan of possible directions, all on the roof at first. The shot could have come from any of them. This is composite location A prime, most likely of the origin points. There could have been. Then the rain and slush and wind, 72%, with an antique weapon that fires military-grade ammunition. A Belmagrave rifle, for example. This is a good short distance, but not too short. The perpetrator aimed with their back against the railing, or possibly kneeling for precision. This would explain why it only took them one shot. The lights were on in here. Outside it was dark. It was like shooting fish in an aquarium. Point X would contradict the woman's testimony, rendering the entire proposition void. These figures would be wiped out, detective. None that you've found thus far. That's a 28%. According to your map of the district, this shot could have come from a wide angle of locations, starting with the northern edge of the abandoned boardwalk, ending with an islet in the bay. Let's call them B prime. B prime for boardwalk, B double prime for Land's End, and B triple prime for the islet, detective. 700 meters away. The likeliest of these B positions, 20% chance. A skilled sniper could have made the shot, provided he had a safe sniper's nest. Even with the light on inside, we're talking military training. At that distance, the perpetrator would have had to take wind direction into 1.2 kilometers away. The least likely of these positions, let's say 3%. A truly skilled sniper could have done it, possibly from a tent. No, too far-fetched. 1 kilometer away, a point beyond the docks, on an islet in the bay. The fort is ruined, but the perpetrator may have found a stable spot on the beaches surrounding it, where the concrete crumbles into the sea, as you saw in the coin-operated viewer. The shot would have been a small miracle, 5% likelihood. There is an extremely narrow field of view from the bay to the window, between Rue de Saint-Ghislain 8B and 33A. The angle would have been extreme and access to the islets is questionable, but it is a possibility. Then there's the thread the witness left. She did have a first-hand view of the event. It suggests the bullet came from the extreme upper quadrant of possible angles, from a point beyond the roof, the island in the bay.
Pig? You're really fucking onto something there. Yeah, Kuno's seen cool shit. Subs.
The wind blows. He said there, across the grey.
Totally what a sniper would use. The island. Yeah. What? How are you gonna get to the island? There's this lady in the village